Alright, so with 1.3, we're getting some banging new characters. We're getting Zankou, Linko, as well as reruns for Nanally and Hotori. Today I'm hoping to help answer the question, who should you pull for in patch 1.3? We're going to start off with the reruns. So for reruns, we've got Nanally and we've got Hotori. Nanally is going to be the first character getting a rerun, and we're getting it pretty quick. It's surprising to be seeing a rerun in just patch 1.3. I'm not sure what the industry standard is for like that kind of thing, but it does feel pretty surprising to already be getting a rerun here. Nanally is a pretty straightforward 1.0 character in my opinion. She's an anima DPS. She does damage. Cool. You punch and kick, you use your ability to deal a little bit of damage, you use your ultimate to deal a burst of damage, you get some follow-up attacks, but other than that, there's not a whole lot to her. She's an anima DPS, she does the job, and she's pretty good at it. My personal experience with Nanally has been kind of lackluster, honestly. So with 1.0, I pulled for Nanally, I pulled for her arc, and I played her. I built her up, I used her, and then once Hotori came out, I used Hotori with my Nanally team. I would basically play around Hotori's ultimate rotation and everything. We'll get into Hotori later. But yeah, Nanally just didn't really stand out to me. You just auto attack and use your skill and ultimate off cooldown. If you have her arc, you make sure that you use her arc's little special ability and you deal damage. It's simple and it does the job, but it's not super fun to me. So personally, I would only pull for Nanally if you need an anima main on-field DPS. We are getting Zankou, who's a main on-field DPS, as well as Linko, who is more of a off-field sub DPS. So if you do really need a main DPS, I personally would be looking at Zankou. She looks really cool, her combat looks really good, and for me, I'm especially excited because I could use her in tandem with my Lacrimosa team if I want to use both the characters. So yeah, I intend on pulling for Zankou. Of course, as I said, I do already have Nanally, but if I was in the position of considering pulling for Nanally, it'd probably be a skip for me. She doesn't really do anything special that I like. She's just not really like my cup of tea, personally. However, Hotori is a really cool character to me. You play around using her ability, and then once you use her ability, you rotate through your team, you use their abilities within 5 seconds, and then you gain little ghosts of them. Once Hotori has time, she'll recharge her gauge after casting her skill and be able to cast her ultimate, which will then copy everybody's skills, and you'll get a cool time frozen window with Hotori where you then are able to deal a boatload of damage in that 10-second window, and it is really satisfying and it's a fun rotation to play through, in my opinion. I think if I were to be pulling for one of the two rerun characters, Hotori would definitely be my target that I would be pulling for. I think she has a lot of potential for the future and the ability to kind of grow as the character roster grows, and we're able to use her character skill copying a little bit differently with different skills as they become available. So I think that Hotori has a lot of potential to like do some cool things in the future. Quick interruption, I just got done moving, and as you can see, I'm in a cardigan. I'm not in a tank top today, so that's a little bit weird. We moved to somewhere where it's 40 degrees Fahrenheit cooler, so I'm enjoying the cool weather. I went from 105 degrees to 60 degrees, so I'm very happy. But yeah, if you enjoy the gacha game content, Neverness Taverness coverage, as well as some future coverage for other gacha games, please consider subscribing. I make gacha game videos all the time, and I plan on doing this thing full time. I'm going to be streaming 3 days a week and making videos almost daily as much as I can. Mostly cover Neverness Taverness, but we're going to start covering every other game as well. But now let's get into Zankou. Zankou, as you can see here, has some really cool animations. She looks absolutely awesome as you do combat and everything. Her ultimate looks dope. I'm not going to be getting into her kit or anything, but I want to answer the question on whether or not you should pull for her. If you need a main DPS, Zankou's an excellent choice. We don't really have any like incantation DPS options. Like, are you rolling around with Adler? I don't think you're rolling around with Adler. Sakiri's a support who does a little bit of damage, but at the end of the day, she's a support. we don't have an incantation main DPS option really. So filling that elemental gap, being a character who is a main on-field DPS that you could build teams around, and being a really cool design character, those are all things that I want to see in a character that I'm going to be pulling. But yeah, not only is she a incantation main DPS, a white-haired waifu who wields a katana, all things that are major selling points. Beautiful character design, awesome skills. She's kind of the full package here. We can't really get into things and take a look at all of her skins, but we all know that on release, she's got one skin that's going to be selling like hotcakes. And while we're talking about cake, good God, the character herself, like, I'm super excited to learn more about her in the story and see what she's got going on. Outside of that, she's just an awesome looking, pretty good performing character. This is not a guide, but she does damage. And she works well in many different teams. I think she's pretty flexible in who you could run her with. I think Linko's like the option that everybody's expecting. For me though, I'm going to be doing Lacrimosa, Haniel, and Sakiri for my little damage over time team that tears it up. It's kind of a cheat code because my Lacrimosa is A6, but we're not going to talk about that. Overall though, I think that Zankou is a great pull, especially if you like white-haired waifus who wield katanas. For me, that's a major selling point. Linko, on the other hand, I don't know much about her. She's a bit of a wild card to me. We did just get an anima support. I think that Linko is also an anima support, but I think that she is going to be more of a sub DPS. I think she's going to like have her follow-up attacks, which help amplify your team's damage, and I would expect her to be a really good teammate for follow-up compositions, especially if we get any really good follow-up characters in the future. But yeah, as I said, I don't know much about her. Based on what we saw in the 1.3 livestream preview, her movement skills in the open world are really cool, and I think that that offers some really cool, unique traversal, and that's a lot of fun. So I do look forward to that aspect of her. I will personally be pulling for Zankou and Linko. I've got the means to do so, so I'm going to do it. Out of the two of them though, I think I'm most excited for Zankou because, yeah, obvious reasons. I think she's badass, but Linko does look really cool. I do think she's got a really cool and unique character design with her little ghoul on her backpack. I don't know, I think that they're just pumping out some amazing characters. But in Neverness Severness, a game with no 50-50, you could pull both limited characters pretty easily, in my opinion. They've been very generous to us with currency and everything. I'm a helpless glazing shill, I guess, but you could hit them both, pull from both. If you have to choose between the two of them, take into consideration your main DPS roster. Do you have two good solid main DPSs? Like, maybe you even have 3 solid main DPSs. Maybe you want to look towards the support sub DPS with Linko, or you may even want to consider pulling for a sub DPS in the form of Hotori. And then if you are requiring a main DPS, you have 2 great options. You've got Zankou, who's badass and really cool and nice to look at, and you've got Nanally, who can be annoying but does do the job. We do love Nanally. This isn't Nanally slander. It's just kind of a bummer that I don't touch the character anymore. But yeah, I'm super curious who you guys intend on pulling on in patch 1.3. I just wanted to get on here and yap with you guys about it and kind of give my opinions on everything, show off the character a little bit, and talk to you guys about it. Remember though, in patch 1.4, patch 1.5, and so on, we're going to have some new characters coming. If you don't like Zankou or Linko, you don't need to pull on the reruns. Consider waiting. You can save your currency for the upcoming banners. Speculations are saying Blackbird is coming, or Akane. She looks awesome. She's a must pull for me. Alfred is coming in the future. EXE's coming. We've got a lot of cool characters coming. So if there's somebody that you're looking forward to more than these characters, consider saving. Maybe consider saving 200 pulls. Then you could get that banner skin. But yeah, that's about all I want to talk to you guys about. If you enjoyed the video, a like would be greatly appreciated. Subscribe for future gacha game content, and I hope to see you in my next video. Peace.